Okay, let me share the screen. So I think the theory part is almost over. Maybe like one or two topics are remaining. So we'll finish that and get started with the numerical. That's my plan today. So, so as I told you, whether it is for your board exam or for your entrance exams or for your conceptual understanding, I would say this chapter is extremely important. Okay, because based on this chapter, all the other later chapters will be, you will be getting a lot of equations and everything based on this. Okay, let's quickly get started. The last two classes, I have not got a chance to upload it in YouTube. But Kirtan, I think you are putting it in the Google Drive, right?
Yes, sir. As of now, everything has been uploaded.
Okay.
Whatever I have has been put on it.
Okay. Very good. Yeah. Yes, Selwyn, I'm feeling better. So thank you for asking.
Sure, sir. You should try taking it for like 1 week or something, sir. Then only it will go like 4 hours, sir. You're completely.
You mean the turmeric powder water?
Yes, sir. Hot water, turmeric powder with rock salt, sir. You should take it for a week so that it will, get cured completely.
Okay, sure. Actually, I'm also like that. Generally, I don't like to go for any medicines because I think getting a cold or a running nose or a throat pain, all these things, it's a normal thing. If you take some simple hot water or honey or something like that, or like what you said, turmeric or salt water, salt with turmeric, that should be sufficient. Because when you go for medicines, usually there'll be some side effects, so it's not really good in long term. As far as possible, I try to avoid medicines. Okay, let's see. Okay, so there is something called action and reaction pair. Okay, let's talk about that. So when you have, so let's say this is my earth, and let's say there is a book or a ball or something, any object for that matter. So this book is getting attracted towards the earth. This we all know. But what we may be missing is the earth is also getting attracted towards the book. Okay. Newton's law says that whenever there is a Newton's law of gravitation says that whenever there are two objects, right, there is a attraction between them. Okay, so this is mass one and this is mass two. Right? Anybody remember from your ninth standard? What is the equation? Newton's law of gravitation. It's proportional to. Nobody remembers. I'm sure you studied this in your ninth standard, right? Newton's law of gravitation. So whenever we have proportionality, we bring in a proportionality constant. So that is your universal gravitation constant. So again, this is not coming in this chapter, it's coming in the gravitation chapter. next chapter, I mean, eighth chapter. But what I'm trying to say here is there are two masses means this will also get attracted towards this will also get attracted towards this. So according to Newton's third law, this force will be equal and opposite. You see, this is coming this way and this is coming this way. Okay. So if I say the forces are equal, the acceleration will be same or different? Anybody? Hmm? Different. Why? Because the mass might be different, right? If the mass is different, the acceleration will also be different. F is equal to ma. So the common mistake we will do is, since the force is equal, you will think that it will get accelerated in the same acceleration, which is not correct. Okay. So again, you can understand the very important basic. If I had a 1 kg ball and if I'm giving say 10 Newton force, probably it's not going to roll that much. Whereas if you had something like a 1 gram ball, if I give the same 10 Newton, then it will be rolling very quickly, which means the acceleration here will be very high. Why? Because m is very less. So F is equal to ma. So F is same in both the cases. When this is very small, this will be very high. Okay. So coming back to the point here, right? So these things take as a side note. Coming back to the point here, when I say a book or a ball or a block or whatever it is, right? This, we all know that this is getting attracted towards the earth. But what we may be missing is earth is also getting attracted towards the ball or the book. This might sound very funny, but actually it is happening. And then only thing, the acceleration is very, very small. That's why we don't realize it. So what it means is this mass is very small, which means you can actually see that it is falling down. But what we don't see that the earth is falling towards the book, because the mass of the earth is so big that maybe if the acceleration is so small, you cannot really realize it. So this is what is called action and reaction pair. Just because the name says action and reaction pair, that doesn't mean that one is action and the other one is reaction. That is not true. Okay. So you cannot say, okay, sir, this is reaction, this is this is action and this is reaction. No, it's not like that. Okay, so we simply say it as action and reaction pair. What it
Either
means,
it could be both or it can be same, right?
yeah. So you cannot really say that, okay, which one happens. So it sounds as though like, one happens first and then reaction happens next. That is not true. Okay. So even though the name suggests like that, in reality, both of them happens at the same time. So it's not like, one happens first and the next one happens later. So make a note, both happens at the same time. Okay. Again, the important thing in action and reaction pair is both will be happening in two different objects. So very important. So this happens in two different objects. Suppose if I take the same book, and then I'm placing it on top of a table. right? So the weight is acting downwards like this because gravity is pulling it downwards, right? So let me check it how I have shown the diagram. From book to table. Okay, normal reaction. So you know that if I say this is the weight, right? This mg, you know that because of the contact, right? There will be a contact force. So this is what we have been talking about as normal reaction force. Okay. So this normal reaction force is acted upon from the table to the object. So take it down properly. Normal reaction force from table to object. Okay. In this particular case, you can immediately say that the weight and n will be equal, right? Equal and opposite. So this weight is earth is putting a force on the object, right? So now tell me, can I call this as action and reaction pair or not? Go back and check my definition. Action reaction pair both happens in same time, happens in two different
Yes.
objects. Can you call it a action reaction pair or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I told you this is force acting from table to object on the object. So this is on the object. This is also acting on the object. So if both the forces are acting on the same object, you cannot call it as action and reaction pair. Okay, very often they'll ask you this, they will test you this. So when you take gravity, right? This is weight, and this is the reaction force from the earth to book. Whereas here it looks almost like the same thing, but it is slightly different. Okay. So below this table you have the earth. So because of this weight, you have another Fg from the earth, and this is Fg from the book to the earth. So these two are action and reaction pairs. These two are not action and reaction pairs. So take it down. N and Fg are acting on the same object. They are not action and reaction pairs. Okay. This might be slightly confusing. And one way I understand this is when you put a paper, right? If you take a big book and then if I put a small paper below this, right? What will happen? Do you think this book will be standing on paper?
Until and unless there's no support, it won't.
It will not be able to support it. Why? Because the paper is not able to provide the necessary normal reaction force, whereas the table was able to give the normal reaction force. Here, the paper is not able to give the normal reaction force. So because of that, the weight is pulling it downwards towards the earth. Okay, so when both the forces are acting on the same object, it is not an action and reaction pair. So take it down properly. You very often you'll get some MCQ theory questions based on this. By the way, today for the 12th students, I gave that online testing platform. So the same thing, I will be using it for you folks also. So I hope it will work well. And the purpose of giving you this online testing platform is, one thing is you should get practice for MCQ tests, okay? Because all your entrance exams will be like that. And then since your term 1 is also MCQ, right? Most of you will be having MCQ tests. So, I thought we can give more practice on that. Definitely, it's going to be slightly difficult. Okay, my expectation is you have your CBSE or ISC board exam levels here, and then the NEET and JEE is somewhere here. NEET, JEE, and all the other entrance exams. Okay, so my expectation is I will try to give you something in between here, so that you don't remain here. You try to come over here. Then once you feel comfortable, some of you will be doing very well, which means you can easily jump into this region. Okay, so that's my idea. So even if you score, say initially, if you're scoring say 20% or 30%, don't worry too much about the marks. Okay, I'm not worried about the marks. It's about the practice. So more practice you get, slowly, it will keep improving. Even if you are at say 50%, it is still a very good thing. Okay, and slowly it will keep on improving. Okay, any questions here? So for this normal reaction, right? So this is again a little bit confusing. So listen carefully. For this, okay. For this normal reaction, I told you the normal reaction is from table to object, which means there is a force. Okay. So since it is a contact force, there will be another force from the object to the table. So this normal reaction is from object to the table, which means it's acting on the table. Okay. So far in all our diagrams, we have been showing only the weight and the normal reaction. We have not been showing this. Why? Because it is acting on the table. So whenever we draw the free body diagram, we will draw only this and this. We will not show this force which is acting on the table. Okay, so take it down. Normal reaction from object to table. Now, if I ask you, what can you say about this N1 and this N2, right? These two are acting on two different objects and they are acting exactly at the same time due to the contact forces. So it's something like, if I push the wall will be pushing me backwards. So that means that can be called as action and reaction pair. Because one is I am pushing the wall and the other one is wall is pushing me backwards. Anybody, any confusion here? Slightly confusing, so you have to take some time. So these two are acting on the same object. This is not acting on the same object. This is acting on the table. So I would say N1 and N2 are acting on two different objects. They are action and reaction pairs. Action and reaction pairs. Okay, so we have discussed three different things. Okay, weight and FG from the book and from the earth is action reaction. N1 and N2 is action and reaction, but weight and N1 is not action and reaction pair. That's all. That's what I have discussed all this time. Any questions? Can I move on? This picture doesn't look like a horse at all. I need to improve my diagram. The drawing on the computer screen is a little bit difficult. Let's see. Any of you good in drawing? Maybe try to make a pencil sketch and send it to me. I can use it in my handbook. Sure. Anybody good in drawing? No one? Okay.
No, sir, not good.
Okay. So look at this weight of the cart, normal reaction of the cart. Friction as the cart is moving forward, the friction is acting backwards, right? And then the horse is pulling the cart using a string. So that means the string is or the rope is pulling the cart, but the rope is also pulling the horse backwards, right? That's why the horse will find it difficult to pull it because the rope is actually pulling it backwards. Okay, so action and reaction pair, T and T. It's something like, let's say there is a wall here. Let's say there is a rope connected over here. If I'm standing here and if I'm pulling it here, right? So we all know that I am pulling the wall, right? Which means the tension for the wall, right? I will be showing the tension this way. But at the same time, do you agree that the wall is also pulling me backwards? Because when I apply 10 Newton, the wall is actually applying 10 Newton this way. Do you agree? Yes, no? I can't hear you. So that means the wall is pulling me backwards. So that means if I apply tension T to the wall is applying a tension T on my body. Okay, so this might be slightly confusing. So take down this diagram properly. Okay. So based on that, I think you should be able to understand this. I will leave it to you as a homework. So I've given all the details here. So think about it and see why it is like that. When we walk on the floor, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? We are pushing the ground backwards, and the ground is pushing us forward. But we are not pushing the ground perfectly horizontal. So I've given it in an angle. So that's why you are getting an angle like this. So this is your friction, the force given on the ground. So reaction force is your R. So this is R cos theta and this is R sin theta, R cos theta and R sin theta. So R sin theta gets added up to the top one. R cos theta is the forward force. Weight of the horses the same. You see there are two objects here. One is the cart, the other one is the horse. So I have shown the free body diagram for each one separately. These things you can try it yourself, nothing very difficult. You will come across the word equilibrant. Equilibrant means if I say this ball, let's say there is a ball here and I'm applying 5 Newton this way. And let's say somebody else is pushing it 10 Newton this way, right? So can anyone tell me what should be the force and which direction should I apply the force so that the ball does not move anywhere? Can anyone guess which direction the third person should push the ball so that it does not move? North direction or northwest, south or southwest, southeast?
So northwest.
Northwest. Yeah. So that means somebody has to push it somewhere this way, right? Why? Because look at this carefully. You know that the resultant is going to be somewhere here. So it's same like, you know, this instead of having these two red forces, you can have one single blue force. And to overcome this force, right, somebody has to push it this way in the opposite direction. So that means see if this makes sense. So this and this, the resultant is here. So the equilibrant means whatever is the resultant, you should take the opposite, and that is your equilibrant. Remember, I'm applying only 5 Newton and 10 Newton. This is the resultant. So that means the equilibrium is a force which will be opposite to the total resultant or F net. Anybody not following? That is what is called equilibrium. Meaning the force that will bring this ball in equilibrium. That's the meaning of equilibrium. So nothing very difficult there. Anybody still copying? Any more? Okay, this is an extremely important concept. I think it's coming in the example. So let me make the drawing first. Let's imagine that I have a wall here. I'm seeing it from the top, or you can imagine this as the end of a billiards board or a carom board. Okay, and if the coin is getting hit from here, you're seeing it from the top. Coin or a billiards ball is coming from here. Let's imagine that it's coming like this. We all know from our experience, right? Playing carom board or a billiards balls, right? You know that this is definitely going to come back like this. I'm sure none of you have any doubts in that. Means the ball is going to come back like this. Okay. So the question here is, how come it is coming? You know, it's moving in the. So let's take this as x direction. This as y direction. Okay. You see, it was going in the positive x direction, and suddenly it started moving in the negative y direction. It started moving in this direction. Whereas if you see the y direction, it was already going downwards. And sorry, you should not cut as downwards because we are seeing it from the top of a carom board thing. So here it is moving this way, and here also it is moving this way. Maybe you can say negative y direction. Okay. Are you able to appreciate what I'm saying? So there is a big change in the x direction, but there is no change in the y direction. Can anyone tell me why? Anyone guess why does it happen like this? No answers. And the answer is
Third law of motion.
third law of motion. Okay. Any other answer? That is partly somewhat correct. When the ball hits, right, hits a wall, the wall is giving a force to the ball, right? But is when the ball comes and hits the wall, right? Is the wall giving a force like this, or is it giving a force like this, or is it giving a force like this, or is it giving a force like this? A, B, C, D. Which one is the correct answer? How does the wall give the force on the ball? Any idea? Normal reaction. What do you mean by normal reaction? Hmm? Already forgotten. Nobody is answering. What is normal reaction, sir? Normal means you don't know what is normal. Hmm?
Perpendicular to the surface.
Perpendicular to the surface. Right?
Surface.
So that means the normal reaction means the force will be normal to the surface. So that means the ball will be experiencing a normal force from the wall. So that means this is your normal reaction. So take it down. This is the correct answer. Okay. Some of you might be thinking, sir, since the ball is coming this way, the wall is going to give a force this way. Well, that is not correct. Okay. So that means this is your normal reaction. What this means is it's coming with a velocity v. This is m. So I can split this into two components, like this and like this. So this is m into v is your momentum. So this direction is your, so this is theta, this is also theta. So I would call this as mv cos theta. I would call this as mv sin theta. Okay, momentum p cos theta, p sin theta. Whereas when it is coming here, right, the components will be looking something like this. This is theta, this is also theta. So that means, but listen carefully, if this is v, right, if this is v cos theta, this is coming in the opposite direction. So I will take it as minus v cos theta. Whereas look at this, mv sin theta is this way, this is also this way, which means it's going to continue as mv sin theta. Let's assume that the velocity v here and velocity v here is same. Okay, usually there will be a small change because some energy will be lost as sound and heat energy, which means kinetic energy will decrease a little bit. But assuming that it's an elastic collision, which we'll be talking in the next chapter, there is no kinetic energy loss, which means velocity, we assume that it is same. But only thing, the direction is changed. Sorry, the speed is same, but the velocity direction is changed. Now listen carefully. So is there any change in momentum in the y direction? If I want to find the force, right, I will be calculating the change in momentum. So if I take for x direction, final minus initial, what is final? Minus mv cos theta minus this initial momentum, mv cos theta. Okay. which is equal to minus 2 mv cos theta. If I take it for y direction, can anyone tell me what is change in momentum? This is final momentum, this is initial momentum. So what is the change in momentum? Saran, can you tell me what is the change in momentum?
It will be 0, sir.
0, yeah. Why? Because final and this thing is same. So mv sin theta is final minus mv sin theta is your initial, which means it will become 0. So now can anyone tell me what do you think will be the force in the x direction? What will be the force in the y direction? Elvin, can you tell me what is Newton's second law?
Sir, Newton's second law, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, Newton's second.
Typing it in Google.
No, sir, I was trying to type it in the chat, sir.
Hmm.
1 second, sir. I'm not very sure, sir. I'll type it in the chat, sir.
Ankita, can you tell me?
Sir, I know that the formula is F equals ma, sir.
No, I want Newton's second law. Ankita,
So it's the rate of change of momentum.
rate of change of momentum. Okay. How do you pronounce your name? Mantasha. Is that right?
Mantasha, yeah.
Mantasha. Okay, very good. Rate of change of momentum. Nobody else is saying. I don't know what you folks are doing. So that means change in momentum itself is 0. So rate of change of momentum will be 0. Whereas here you see some force here. So what it means is there is a force in the x direction, but there is no force in the y direction. So take it down. There is a force in x direction. So Elvin not studying regularly. There is a
Sir, no,
force.
it's not like that.
There is a force in x direction. There is no force in y direction. Okay. What this means is even though the ball is hitting at an angle, right? Only this momentum is causing a reaction force from the wall. Suppose if so the way I understand this situation is, suppose if I hit the ball like this, right? Is it going to experience any force from the wall? If I push it this way, is it going to experience any force? Let's assume that there is no friction.
No, sir.
The ball will continue to go this way, right? Which means there is no reaction force from the wall. So take it down. This is a way we can confirm that the normal reaction, the reaction force from the wall is always 90 degrees. So if they ask you to prove that the reaction force is always 90 degree, then you have to explain this. Okay. So that's what is shown here. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay. So Siddharth, can you tell me what is the pseudo force?
So it's like a false force. It's not an actual force. Like
Okay.
you
Can you give me an
we can say,
example?
so the like when you're in a lift, sir, and it's free falling. No, when you're in a lift and the lift is being carried up, you feel like you're being lifted, sir.
No. If the lift is carrying up, you will feel like lifted up. Okay, I'm mixing up something. Any other simple example? When the
So
bus
the
is
lift accelerating upwards.
you will feel like you are
You'll feel like you're being how do I explain?
anyone else
Push downwards. No?
push downwards. Yeah, that's why I told you a simple example is a
So the
car
center-
suddenly somebody not muted. So please mute when you're not talking. Please mute. When the car is suddenly accelerated, right? What will happen? You will get pushed backwards. Okay, I'm sure all of us experience this, and that is what is a pseudo force. Okay. So similarly, if I take a small trolley like this, and let's say there is a small block here. If I say the trolley is accelerated, let's say there is a force here. Okay. So F is equal to ma. So the trolley is getting accelerated with an acceleration a. So if I say the trolley is getting accelerated this way, the block is a loose object. It's not completely tied down with a screw or something. No, it's not sticking to the trolley. So which means I can say that it's going to experience a pseudo force. So if I, all of you can try this right now in your table. So take a paper or take your book and put your pen or some coin or something. Okay, all of you do that. If you pull this book very slowly, right, what will happen? The pen or coin will also come along with you. But if you accelerate very quickly, if you pull it very quickly, what will happen? Anybody?
The object will fall.
Hmm?
The object will fall.
The object will slide backwards, right? You pull the book forward, and then the object is sliding backwards, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say here. Okay, so if you try this, you will understand what I'm talking about here. Which means this is called, this will experience a pseudo.
No, but the left experiment which you do with the book and something on it doesn't happen all the time.
That's what I said. When you pull it very slowly, this will also come together with you. But if you pull it very quickly, what will happen?
Oh, okay. Like that.
Yeah, pull it very quickly and you will see that this will experience a force in the opposite direction. And that is what is called a pseudo force. Okay, the force given on the trolley is a real force. The force experienced by the block is not a real force, it's a pseudo force. Very, very important. So please pay attention. It's not going to be this force and this force will not be equal. So if what will be equal between this and this is only the acceleration, not the force. So acceleration will be same, but not the force. So take it down. Acceleration will be same. If I'm accelerating with 5 meter per second square, here also this will go back with 5 meter per second square, but not the force. So if I want the force, what should I do? F is equal to ma. So A is same, but mass will be different. This can be say 1000 kg. This can be 1 kg. So that means only the acceleration is same, not the force. So here I can say 1000 kg into 5 meter per second square. So take down the numbers so that you will understand it better. But here, what I'm saying is acceleration is same, but the mass is only 1 kg, which means I'll be getting only 5 newtons. Okay. So very often, due to our usual thinking that equal and opposite force, right? We will think that okay, this and this will be equal. That is not true. Okay. The force the car is giving is say 5000 Newton, but the force which you are experiencing as a person or a passenger is only 5 Newton. Okay, if 5,000 Newton acts on you, probably you're going to have a big trouble. So only the acceleration is same. So you know something about pseudo force on this trolley problems. Okay. And Kirtan, you brought up a good point. So it doesn't happen all the time. Why?
Uh,
Hmm? When you pull it slowly, right? The pen or the coin is also coming along with the paper or the book. Why? Anybody? Hmm?
can we say friction? No.
Yeah, friction is the correct answer. So since there is a friction between the paper and the pen, right? It is coming along with it. Okay. Once, but you know that there is something called maximum friction, right? So we studied this in the previous topics. So we studied that the friction is going something like this and then remains the same. So this is your maximum friction. So that means beyond certain point, you cannot experience, this object cannot experience any force. I mean, it cannot get enough friction. So beyond that, what will happen is this will try to slide backwards. Okay, this is slightly confusing. So let me try to explain one more time. But I'm not sure if you're going to get this kind of problems in the, I think you are getting, okay. It's not explained in the theory, but it's, you'll get in the numerical problems, you'll get it. So listen carefully. When I say the trolley is coming with the force, going with the force, yeah. This was also going to experience the acceleration this way, equal to this acceleration way. But then there is some friction between the trolley and the block. Okay, so because of that, what will happen is this is trying to slide this way, whereas the friction will try to push it this way. This is completely new concept, so pay attention. So far, you have been thinking, sir, if the movement is this way, the friction is this way. It will be in the opposite direction. But here I'm saying the friction is this way. Can anyone explain why? Which way is the block trying to move? Backwards or forward? As you pull it
Backwards.
backwards. So if this is trying to move backwards, the friction will try to act in the forward direction. And that was the friction which was keeping it for a little while. It will keep it along with this trolley. Okay, when this force and this force are equal, right? There is no movement. So this will try to go along with this. Okay. But if this force, as I told you, there is a maximum friction. Once this force crosses this friction, right? What will happen? So take it down properly. How can I explain it properly? So it is a very important concept, but it's not given in your textbook properly. Um, okay, I think I given some numbers here. So let's look into this. So look at this carefully. This is accelerating with an acceleration of 5 meter per second square. Okay, forget about these things. Let's worry about only the first column. Let's say the friction between the block and this thing is mu is equal to 0.2, right? F friction is acting this way. A acceleration pseudo is acting opposite direction. This is 100 kg. So A pseudo, if this is 5 meter per second, this is also 5 meter per second in the opposite direction. So F pseudo will be mass into acceleration. So the mass is 100 kg, 100 into 5, so minus 500. So the force is acting in the opposite direction. Maximum friction is, you know that we studied F friction is equal to mu into N. Mu I have given it as 0.2 in this example. Normal reaction is if this is 1000 kg downwards, upwards is 1000. Why 1000? Because 100 into 10, right? Mg. So 1000 into 0.2 will give me 200. Okay. So listen carefully. 500 Newton is acting this way, 200 Newton is acting this way, friction. Okay, which means the resultant is minus 300 Newton. Which means it will experience force in the backward direction. Anybody not following this? Body moves backwards at an acceleration of 3 meter per second square. Okay. Suppose if this and this are equal, or let's take, okay, let's finish this. A is equal to 2, A pseudo is also minus 2. This is minus 200, this is also 200. So when this and this are equal, what will happen? F resultant is 0. Which means F resultant is 0 means what? Body is stationary, moves along with the trolley. So when I say body is stationary, with respect to the trolley, it is stationary, which means it will be moving along with this. Body moves forward at an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. Because the friction is giving you 200 Newton. So that 200 Newton is keeping this object along with this trolley. Okay. Where the concept which is confusing here is when I'm taking with respect to the trolley, right, I will be considering this force and this force, right? You see the F resultant, I have taken it as this minus this. But what did I say about the pseudo force? Is it real force or imaginary force? Pseudo force, is it real or imaginary? Hmm?
Real force.
No, pseudo force is not real. Okay, it is imaginary. So that's the meaning of pseudo, right? So it's not real. So in a way, I should not be adding this force on this force. So the F resultant, maybe I should say only 200 Newton. If that is the case, I will say that this object is getting pushed forward along with the trolley. Okay, this is slightly confusing. Okay, I will come back to this topic when we do some problems. When you're going in the constant speed, acceleration becomes 0, which means constant velocity. So that means
Is that symbol, that inverted H, a constant?
inverted H. What is inverted H?
That mu, sir.
Mu. Mu is frictional coefficient. You were there when you studied coefficient of friction, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is mu is friction coefficient. Okay, I think I'm finding it a little bit difficult to explain this properly because I've added this pseudo force which is not correct. I need to improve this. I need to correct this. I will come back to this topic again. Okay. But there is one problem based on this in your additional exercise, one or two problems. So that's why we need to understand this concept. Okay, whatever you have taken down earlier, that is sufficient. This will come back to it again. This concept is coming in the later chapter, so I'm going to do it later. Okay, so I think theory is almost done here. So let's go to some numerical problems. So anybody tried any examples? Anybody finding it any difficulty? Any doubts? Examples? Okay, let me go to the exercise. So examples, I will not do it. Okay, you have to try it. If you have doubts, I'll help you. Get started with the theory and numerical. Okay, because I'm thinking mostly it will take 1 or 2 classes for the numerical. So Wednesday and Friday. So most probably you will have the test on Monday or Wednesday. So most probably we'll try to do it on Monday. Okay. So you have to try it and come back and clarify the doubts. Okay, let's take some simple problems first and then go to the difficult ones. A rocket with a lift mass of 20,000 kg is blasted upwards with an initial acceleration of 5 meters per second. So I'm sure all of you have seen rocket taking off. Okay, so a lot of exhaust gases will be coming like this. So you know that the 20,000 kg will produce 200,000 Newton, right? 20,000 into 10 will give me the weight downwards. An acceleration of, with an initial acceleration of 5 meters per second. Calculate the initial thrust force. So they're asking me what is the upward thrust force.
So we need to multiply, sir. So we will get as 1 lakh.
Okay. Any other answer? This is a force, this is a force. What is the most important formula in mechanics?
Sigma F is equal to MA.
Sigma F is equal to MA. That's all. So F upward is acting upwards. Weight is acting downwards. Okay. Mass of the rocket is 20,000. Acceleration is given as 5. So do the math, you'll get the answer. So this is 200,000. This is 20 into 5. So it will be 100,000. So it will be 100 plus 200. So it will be 300,000. So only if the rocket gives 300,000 upward force, right? That will cancel by 200,000. So it should mean, which means the resultant will be 100. 100,000 divided by 5 will give me 20,000. Any questions? Any doubts? So sigma f is equal to ma, most important formula in mechanics. Let me see any other simple problems. Okay, let's take 5.5 easy ones. So just to get you started, I'm taking some easy ones. So,
What is the answer for the previous one, sir? Okay.
calculate the
Train.
initial thrust force. Yeah, that's the answer. Right? Okay, a constant retarding force of 15 Newton is applied to a body of mass 20 kg moving initially with the speed of 15 meter per second. How long does the body take to stop? Let's say there is a body here, initially moving with the speed of 15 meter per second. How long does it take to stop? So that means, let's say it's stopping after a certain time, which means v is equal to 0. How long does the body take? So that means they're asking how long means, are they asking the time or are they asking the distance? What do you think?
I think the time, sure.
Time, right? So these are all
Yeah.
some confusions in English language. So long means you may think it is distance, it's actually the time, right? How long does it take to complete a work? So something like that. So time. They may ask you the distance also sometimes. So retarding force, constant retarding force means 15 Newton. (20 kg). Okay. So they didn't say any other forward force. You may be thinking, sir, the car is going at certain speed, 15 meter per second. So don't you think there is a forward force? Well, the answer is no, since they are not given any forward force, right? I can imagine that there is no forward force here. It's something like, you are applying the brakes. So when you apply the brakes, we already discussed this, you are pressing the clutch. So when you press the clutch, the engine is disconnected. So since the engine is disconnected, there is no forward force. Okay. So, but still you will be going at certain velocity. And then the brake will be applying in the opposite direction. So this is a forward velocity and this is a backward force, or the reverse force. So F is equal to ma. So F is acting in the opposite direction. So minus 50, mass is 20. So acceleration is equal to minus 5 by 2, which is minus 2.5. Right? So U is given, V is given. You are supposed to find A is found, which means T. Which formula can you use?
U is equal to
A is
V
equal
is
to V
equal to U
minus
plus
U
AT.
by T.
Which one?
A is equal to V minus U by T.
Yeah. Or you can say V is equal to
U plus AT,
U
sir.
plus AT. Yeah, both are same. What you said is correct. V minus U by T. So T is asked, V is given, U is given, A is found. Quickly, can you calculate it and tell me? Very often you will make the mistake of taking this as plus 2.5. Remember, it's
6
coming to a
seconds.
Sir,
stop.
6, sir.
6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Seconds. Okay, very good. So when it comes to numerical, as I always say, please practice it, try it, and then come to the class. You will understand more. Okay. So your homework is you should get started with all the examples and get started with this basic exercise problems. Additional exercise, maybe I can help you, right? But the basic exercise and all, it's all easy only. So you can get started with that. So your homework is finish the examples and do at least up to 10, at least up to 10 problems, you should be finishing it. Okay. Let's quickly do one more thing. So 5.7. Body of mass 5 kg is acted upon by two perpendicular forces of 8 Newton and 6 Newton. 8 Newton and 6 Newton. Give the magnetic direction of the acceleration of the body. So the resultant force can be found this way. So use your Pythagoras theorem and find out F resultant and then use mass into acceleration. So mass is given, acceleration can be found. But how to find the direction of acceleration? Anybody? Force and acceleration, will it be in the same direction or a different direction? Force and acceleration, same direction or different direction? That's such a difficult one. Nobody's answering.
Same direction.
Same direction, because mass does not have any direction, which means this and this will have the same direction. So make a note. But I told you somewhere else, velocity and force need not be in the same direction. So if you don't know that, go back and study this in the handbook. So I told you force and acceleration will be in the same direction, but not the velocity and force. Velocity and force can be in the different directions. So study this properly. That's all. So if you know this theta, use your tan theta opposite by adjacent, and you'll get the answer. Okay. So I would say up to 10 question, it is very easy. So please try this and come. If possible, maybe try this, up to 15 questions. Okay. And you must have finished your examples also. Examples and exercise at least up to 15 questions. Try it. Okay. So any questions, any doubts, anybody? So let's see, Uzma, you alone remain. All others you can leave. If you don't have any doubts, you can leave. Saran, you can also stay back. I want to talk to you. Others, if you don't have any doubts, you can leave.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.